Welcome to Ask Gwen, everyone. Today I'm here with Jenni, and Jenni and I met through the Bridging Bionics Foundation. Her son, Turner, also utilized the Bridging Bionics Foundation. And I don't know if you've seen pictures of me on a machine called the Galileo Tilt Table. Well, fortunately for me and fortunately for Tana and Tana's family, we are lucky enough to have access to that machine thanks to the Bridging Bionics Foundation. But here's the kicker. Jenni is trying to get Tanner his own Galileo tilt table. Now, this Galileo tilt table is close to the cost of a vehicle, and we also have access to an exoskeleton suit, which I use. Tanner does not, but these devices used for physical therapy can do miracles, and I would like Tana to get this device. As I said, this device is a miracle device, but yet it is expensive. So I wanted to bring Jenni on to explain Tana's disability and give you guys an insight as to why Tana needs this. And I'll be, if you guys follow me on Facebook, I have already shared the link. And so this podcast is just a component of it. So I'm going to let Miss Jenni take it away. And I think we've lost it. Jenni, can you hear me?
Gwen, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, I'm here.
So, Jenni, I'm going to ask you first, what is Tana's disability and how would you describe it?
Called CAND, KAND, and it stands for KIF1A, which is KIF as in Frank 1A, associated neurological disorder. And what that is we all have the KIF1A gene. Each of us has over 20,000 genes, and Turner has a mutation on his KIF1A gene, one of those 20,000 genes, and one letter on that gene is not correct. So that causes all of Turner's challenges. Turner uses a wheelchair. He has only a few words, and it really affects everything for Turner. He has spasticity, very high tone, mostly in his legs, but his arms as well. He uses a wheelchair. He has a wheeled stander that he uses. He does not walk. He can do some weight bearing with assistance. And Turner's been doing Bridging Bionics. Gosh, I don't know how many years. We can't count the years, but it's just been phenomenal for Turner. The tilt table is just amazing for him. And with COVID, Turner hasn't had any kind of physical therapy.
And
very challenging.
As you and I were talking the other day by phone, also you gotta remember, you guys, that some special ed programs bring in physical therapists and occupational therapists and speech pathologists at that. So they bring these specialists in. Well, with COVID, that's not happening. That's
No.
not happening. So on top of it, you have everything shutting down, and of course, you have the special ed shutting down.
Yes, and all of Turner's therapies have shut
All,
down,
yeah,
and we're
all.
we're very, very, very cautious. We haven't. We the only place we've taken Turner is an appointment, his eye appointment at Children's Hospital. We're just being very, very careful for his health.
Well, yeah, because um, Turner and I are at high risk, and I haven't been out of my house since the afternoon of March 9th. Literally,
Right.
the
Yeah.
afternoon
Yeah.
of March 9th. I
Yeah.
came home from a business trip. I decided to put myself in self-quarantine, and yeah, because I didn't want what was going outside in the outside world because of my disability, which is cerebral palsy. And so I agree with you, Jenny. We're dealing with not only myself but thousands of at-risk patients who could easily contract COVID-19.
Yes. Yes. And for you as well, not having therapy or any kind of therapy since February has been really difficult for Turner.
Well, yeah, it's been difficult on all of us, but at
Mhm.
the same time, we want to keep ourselves safe. We want to keep ourselves healthy. And
Yes.
so, does I know with the Galileo tilt table, it decreases my tone, and I have spasticity in tone due to cerebral palsy. And so
Mhm.
I'm presuming it does the exact same thing it does for me for Turner.
It does. It does. And Turner's challenges, symptoms present really the same as cerebral palsy. You,
Okay.
cerebral palsy is such a broad term, and
Yeah.
it's such a wide gamut of how it affects each person. But like I said, for Turner, he has high tone spasticity, and the tilt table helps with that tremendously, and it gives him the weight bearing, which is so important. And Turner also has scoliosis, which we've been working on a lot with the tilt table. So those are our highest concern is the scoliosis, the spasticity, and high tone.
And
The tilt
so
table.
the scoliosis, the high tone, and the scoliosis and the high tone and getting him to weight bear on the Galileo
Hmm.
table would be your number one concern as as his mom. And the reason why you guys I want to see this um happen is because the as I said at the top of this call, the Galileo tilt table is one piece of machinery I will use and continue to use until the day I die, and it's amazing. It's amazing what one piece of machinery could do, and the vibrations, how it could decrease tone. But right now,
Yes.
because we don't have access to it, and I say we because I'm included in this, it's difficult because you can only use it in in a therapeutic setting, and unless
Mhm.
you have one for yourself at home.
Right. Yes. And what will be so exciting when we have one at home, we'll be able to use it twice a day. And the results from that are going to be
Yeah.
off
The
the charts,
more
I
you
think.
the more you use it, the better. And
Yes.
so this is why I would really like to see you guys donate to this cause because um once we get it moved in and once Jenny sets it up, it's going to be a miracle to get Turner to weight bear, and it's going to help his blood flow, and it's going to help everything else. And it may, in the long run, help his speech too, because if he is a happier person, he may, in the long run, begin to speak, even though now he's using fairly minimal words. But in the long run, if we could help the disabled, that would make me the happiest camper on the planet because you guys know I bark and squawk for people with disabilities all the time. All the time.
Mhm.
And Jenny's heard my speech 1,000 times over. And so now this is the next step in medical technology, the Galileo tilt table slash the exoskeleton and slash the it's the next step in the medical technology. And now the Galileo tilt table or the exoskeleton is approved by the FDA, but it's approved for therapies and therapies only. But I want to see the Galileo tilt table slash the exoskeleton get further along in the medical field because I feel like it's going to be better for all parties.
Yes. I completely agree with you, Win, on that one.
Yeah,
It's
I
an
mean,
amazing piece of equipment.
it's
It really
amazing.
is. And
It's amazing, and it's amazing what we can do with a little engineering and a little sciencey
mm,
here. But
yeah.
absolutely amazing what we could do. And so, if you guys follow me along on Facebook, and I'll have Danielle, I'll have my assistant stick the Project Freedom link in the show notes. And so I will see what we can do and see what how we can make it happen. And if you guys want to reach out, you're more than welcome to reach out to Jenny or myself to figure out what we're doing and why we're doing it because we're doing it to help our souls, our minds, our bodies, and
Mhm.
it's part of self care. I mean, when you think about it, when you have to lift uh, I think God can walk, but when you have to lift a child out of a bathtub who is dead weight, thank you very much, because these kids and myself, if I'm not careful, I could get stiff as a board and not be able to move. And so what the Galileo tilt table does is helps the decrease tone and helps us be able to move and eliminates us getting stiff as a board. And so
Mhm.
we have to be mindful of caretakers' backs because I'm blessed enough to have aids that help me, but my big concern is me not being able to move myself and requiring more assistance um, after this whole thing is over because I am not being able to receive the services that I'm going to receive. Now, after this thing is over, I'll go back to the Galileo table. It's going to take me a month to get back to where I was, but I am lucky enough to do it. But in Jenni's case, she wants one at home for her son Turner, and you guys need to help Jenni and I spread the word.
It would just be so wonderful to have one at
Yeah,
home.
I mean,
Yeah, and
because
gain
uh,
back what he's lost and gain more.
gain back what is lost and gain more, because
Yes.
we can't do it when push comes to shove. We we can't do it, and um so I want you guys to help. I'll put the project's freedom in the show notes. And Jenni, is there anything else you want to say about the Galileo Table or anything that's on your mind? Because quite frankly, I didn't know about this disability until you came in to the Blending Bionics Foundation and I found out about you guys. I mean,
Mhm.
what block am I living in? I guess I'm living under let's promote the cerebral palsy block.
Well, well, KIF1A is a very, very rare disease. Um, we probably only have 250 documented um, diagnosis of KIF1A in the world. And it's severely underdiagnosed. I think Turner was diagnosed with cerebral palsy until we got his diagnosis of KIF1A in 2017. The exome sequencing is the testing that kids and people need to determine what the diagnosis is, and that testing is $30,000 to $40,000, and lots of people don't know about it and can't afford it. And insurance. It took us, I think, 5 years to have insurance finally cover the testing.
Well, that's
Yeah.
number one. That is absolutely insane that people are undiagnosed with um, cerebral palsy and undiagnosed with KIF1A, and insurance won't cover it.
Mhm.
That's
Yeah,
insane. That
it is.
don't don't get me started on this podcast. I could go on a soapbox about insurance, but I won't. And so that's just insane that KIF1A isn't covered, nor is cerebral palsy for that matter. I had to beg my own drums to get myself covered, and it's like, really? Really, now I have to bang my own drums? Really? And so I can't imagine you being you, banging the drum every single day. Every time we turn around, insurance goes, oh, here's another denial. Here's another
Yeah.
denial. And we're looking at each other like, what are we going to do now? And without the blessings of Amanda Boxdale and her crew, it's like, okay, what are we going to do now? We're going to turn to the Bleeding Bionics Foundation and beg and plead for alternative therapies.
Mhm. Yes, we are just so grateful for Amanda and Bridging Bionics. It's just been life-changing for Turner, and
We-
we're just so grateful for all of our community, our friends and family that just love and support us so much and love Turner.
Yeah, yeah, I mean, I I didn't realize this because I on Jenny's Facebook, there's a which she's now made her, profile picture, and it's Turner laughing hysterically, and his laugh almost made me cry, Jenny, and I'm like, "Oh boy." So then when I saw what you guys are doing, I'm like, "Oh boy, we're going to have to a big audience because um, this is a miracle and a half. We're pulling rabbits out of a hat here, you guys." And so, Jenny, where can people find you? And as we wrap this interview up, do you have any questions for me?
So I'm on Facebook, Jenni Fautsko. My last name is Fautsko, F as in Frank, A-U, T as in Tom, S as in Sam, K-O. And lots of pictures of Turner on there. And the fundraiser that we're doing is posted on there. It's through Bridging Bionics, and it's Turner's Freedom for Mobility.
Okay.
And yeah, Lynn, I guess one of my questions for you would be, what are some of the silver linings that you have from living with a disability?
What are some of the geez, Jenny, you caught me off guard there. What
I
are
know that's a hard question, isn't it?
what are some of the silver linings of living with a disability? Well, I I tend to be a loudmouth and speak my mind, which gets me in trouble half the time. But that's something that because I am not able-bodied, I have learned to speak my mind a little too much. And what what I think is what ends up happening is I advocate for everyone on the planet, including Turner. And so people say to me, "Look, you have a disability, you're advocating. Would you please knock it off? Because we don't want to hear about it anymore." But I think living with a disability, you have to have those cheerleaders around you, and you have to have those supporters around you, silent supporters, um, out loud, out loud spoken supporters. I mean, I have the people sitting in the woodwork that I can call right now and say, "Would you help me out?" And most of my supporters are on. I have a huge online following because it's me, and because I'm authentic, and because I'm an advocate for people with disabilities. It's difficult because my silver lining is I like to speak to people
Mhm.
and
Mhm.
educate them about disabilities. I mean, I am lucky enough when I can educate people about disabilities, and that's what I plan to do until I can't do it anymore.
Mhm. And we're so thankful you do.
Well, I try my hardest. I mean, this has been tough as tough on me, you guys, as it's been on you. I mean, we were now 13 to 14 weeks in of
Mhm.
this whole country changing, and the aspects of the jobs changing and the aspects of people's health changing. I'm not talking about people with disabilities. I'm talking about people in general, although people with
Mhm.
disabilities can do it as well. But we're almost 14 weeks in, and we're making slow but steady progress. But again, you guys, this has been tough on me, and this will be interesting to see where we come out of this and how
Yeah.
we come out of this.
Mhm. Yeah, definitely.
Definitely, definitely, and it's definitely going to be an interesting challenge. And you guys, I appreciate your support. Now, if you go support Turner, I would be the happiest camper on the planet because that um, this is something he needs, I need, every disabled person who has access to it needs. But I think that supporting others with disabilities is something that I'll do for the rest of my life. And that's all I have to say about that. And I appreciate you guys, and I definitely appreciate Jenni coming on and sharing her story and sharing what she's doing. And so if you go follow Jenni on Facebook, we can make this thing work. Thanks to you guys. Bye, you guys.
Thank you.